Yes, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict persists with no easy end in sight. But increasingly, the Arab-Israeli conflict is fading into the new Middle East's rearview mirror. Here's then Foreign Minister Peres at the 1994 Nobel Prize ceremony.
Peace has not yet been achieved, but the roadblocks have been breached. We started to extinguish the flames of hatred. We still have to build a new Middle East. That is fireproof. A Middle East with no wars. A Middle East where people can wake up in the morning both fearless and free, each one with a prayer in his heart and hope in his head. It's possible to achieve this.
With me now is Chemi Peres, the son of late Israeli President Shimon Peres, and Chemi is now the chairman of the Peres Center for Peace and Innovation. Sir, thank you for being with me. Your father shared with the world a vision of a new Middle East. His vision is probably not exactly what we're seeing right now take place. What do you think your dad would say about the developments of the last month?
First of all, good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. And I listened to his voice and words, and I really miss him. I have no doubt that he would have been thrilled and supportive of this agreement between these two Arab nations. It's another milestone towards a great vision of changing the Middle East, replacing the Sykes-Picot Agreement with something new, which is forward-looking, which is based on collaboration, cooperation into a new age, where nations need to come together in order to face global threats such as COVID-19. It's about time that we come together, that we put the atrocities of the past behind us and create a new tomorrow for all the young generation in the Middle East.
I want to note, if I could, Chemi, that the Peres Center, it's the Peres Center for Peace, but also innovation. Do you think perhaps this is an innovative way of dealing with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Some have said that by making peace with other Arab states, that you're expanding the tent, and it's a new way of tackling the old problem.
We're not going to change the nature of the problem. We can try many ways. My father tried many ways, and what we see today is the fruits of more than a generation of work of many leaders, brave leaders like Menachem Begin and Sadat, rest in peace, and of course the late Rabin and my father and many others who met with leaders around the world. We have a new situation in the Middle East where we have the Iranians threatening so many countries in the Middle East. There is alignment of interest. We have a very unique move by the President of the United States. It all comes together. But at the end of the day, when we look at the outcome, having relationships with two new countries and have direct flights above Saudi Arabia and maybe soon direct flights to Morocco, no doubt that the Middle East is not what it used to be.
Do you think that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict needs to be addressed in some way with current Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump? He's up for re-election. Mahmoud Abbas refuses to take his phone call, will not speak with this White House, will not negotiate. The answer has been no. Does some kind of pressure, or is there some chance of getting him to say, yes, I'll come to the table?
I must tell you that President Trump took many people around the world by surprise with his unique moves and decisions. And maybe sometimes we need a different touch and a different strategy. I do hope the Palestinians will join forces, because I think that the peace will be achieved only if we really change the future of the Middle East. We need to start with tomorrow and work our way back to solve our conflict. You cannot solve the conflict of yesterday and then start thinking about tomorrow. It has to be done in the order of first, let's work together, let's put our heads and shoulders next to each other and focus on innovation, focus on entrepreneurship, building a great economy in the Middle East, give hope to the tens of the millions of young people in the Middle East that have no jobs, fight COVID-19, let's work together. And then we can come to our senses and realize that we have so much more in common and work the peace agreement.
Yeah, last question.
Be part of it.
If I could ask you, your father in that clip from 1994 at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony mentioned the importance of extinguishing the flames of hatred.
Yes.
When you start to have Emirati tourists, Emirati families and Bahraini families come to Al-Aqsa Mosque or swim in Tel Aviv, when you have personal contact at restaurants or on the street, what does that mean to have actual face-to-face personal connection?
First of all, we do have face-to-face personal connections that not started yesterday, but we already have some friends. But I think that now when it is in the open, when you can raise flags and do it in the daylight, it will create so much opportunities, and it will give people the sense of how things can be different. And when people see that reality can be different, it will drive them to move forward. So I think it is not only a symbolic agreement, it has a lot of potential. And I do hope that many countries will join. And if they join, there will be a momentum that hopefully will take all of us into a new age. I'm looking forward to that day.
Very well said. We all are looking forward to that day as well, with more countries on board. Sir, Chemi, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate your insight into this issue.